Welcome to Inside Lake Forest. I'm Eileen Weber, your host, and today we're visiting with LEAD, Linking Efforts Against Drugs, a non-for-profit group that's homed here at the Gorton Community Center. We're on the second floor, and we're going to be visiting with Andy Duran, the executive director. Let's step inside. We're in the second floor of Gorton Community Center at the LEAD office. I'm here with Andy Duran.
Eileen, nice to have you.
Thank you. Who's the executive director of LEAD. I'm looking forward to learning more about its involvement in our community. Can you tell me a little bit more about it?
Sure. So LEAD was founded originally by a group of parents who were concerned about the pressures and anxieties and worries that their kids were under, and as a result, their kids were using drugs and alcohol and other substances. So they formed an organization to come together, almost like a grassroots coalition, to figure out the types of things we needed to do to prevent them from making these risky decisions. A few years later, in 1991, LEAD was formed. This parent group became what is now LEAD, Linking Efforts Against Drugs, and they provided speakers and educational resources for kids and parents to kind of combat these issues. LEAD was officially incorporated as a 501c3 nonprofit in 1996, and that's kind of our current structure that we have today. In addition to LEAD, we have the Speak Up Prevention Coalition, which was founded in 2006, and in 2010 grew quite a bit as a result of obtaining a federal drug-free communities grant. So we have two organizations in one that are operating to offset these issues.
Excellent. Now, Andy, give me a little bit of history about how you got involved with LEAD. I know you have quite a background working with non-for-profit groups.
Sure. So when I was fresh out of college in 2001, I came here to Lake Forest, kind of sight unseen, and worked at St. Mary's Church as the youth minister, and was there for a number of years doing ministry work with parents and high school students, and really just kind of became passionate about youth and then certainly our community. And I moved away for a while and did some other things. Came back to this position about a year ago now, and really just as I love the community, I love the teens here, and wanted to be able to provide some type of outreach and support for the things that are going on in our community. So been here about a year, and I love it, and I think we're going to be doing some good things.
Great, and your wife and your two daughters, you all live in Lake Bluff.
We live in Lake Bluff, yeah.
So you're active members of the community as well, which is great.
We love it.
What I'd love to know with LEAD, let's start first talking about what the makeup is of the organization. We talked about its kind of governmental role, but here in the community, do you have a staff, and can you talk to me about what you do?
Sure. So we have an 11-member board of directors who's really active in helping us to vision kind of what we're doing well and not well, and what we need to be doing to grow further. We have a staff of between 4 and 5, depending on the time of year. Our staff's in a bit of transition now, but really dedicated people who are really care about the community and the kids here. This is not a job that anybody does for the money. This is a job that people do from the heart, and I think that our staff certainly is very genuine and authentic in the way that they carry out their daily duties, and it's an honor to work with them. So we also have a lot of stakeholders and other supporters who are volunteers, who help us with events, who help us plan resources, design materials, and things like that to offer to the community.
So we have the Speak Up Coalition. It does a speaker series. I'd love to learn more about that. That's in the fall?
So LEAD actually does a speaker series, but it's okay. No, but Speak Up and LEAD work very closely together, so they're almost like co-branded. But LEAD has a speaker series in the fall that we roll out through Parent University, which is the educational series that we do for parents of children. We say from preschool all the way through high school and even into college. Some parents join us for. And every year we have 1 or 2 really large keynote speakers, national, well-known authors, best-selling authors who come and provide their expertise as it relates to parenting or substance abuse or mental health issues and things like that, with the overall emotional wellness mission that we try to achieve. So Speak Up is the area where we execute a lot of our prevention strategies. So LEAD is more the educational piece, and Speak Up is more of the kind of on-the-ground execution of the prevention and interventions that we put into place.
So let's talk about a couple of events that you have during the year.
Sure.
Do you have a Red Ribbon Race?
Yes, great. Yeah, annually we have the Red Ribbon Race, which takes place at the end of Red Ribbon Week, which is typically the end of October. Our race is usually the first weekend in November, and we this past year welcomed more runners than we've ever had before. Over 400 runners for the 5K run and 2-mile walk. So we expect that to grow, and the Red Ribbon Race is great because it's a big fundraiser for LEAD, but even more importantly, it raises awareness to drugs and alcohol and gets that kind of top of mind for a while, so we can roll out some initiatives with that. You know, the schools, our schools locally do a great job with educating students about Red Ribbon Week and the dangers of drug and alcohol, and this is just one thing that we do to combine with that.
But what a great opportunity for members of the community to get involved.
Absolutely, yeah.
We have a lot of athletic individuals here, and to get involved in a walk race would be a lot of fun.
Sure,
and again, supporting the organization.
Right, it's a really fun event. It's a family event, but it is a lot of fun. And this year, for the first time this past year, we incorporated a Taste of Wellness fair with it. So in addition to the race, we had a wellness fair with about 15 or so different vendors from all walks of the wellness world who came and shared their resources and materials and products, et cetera, to hopefully help our community just to be a more healthy place.
What other types of events?
So, and again, in addition to the Red Ribbon Race and the keynote speakers, we're actually adding some events this year. So we're doing a program called Get a Jump Start, which is going to be for parents of, parents like myself, kids who have younger kids who aren't quite in the culture yet of what a lot of our students are dealing with here in town. So Get a Jump Start is a way that we can let parents know from very early on who LEAD is and what we're here for and how we can best serve them as their kids grow into the elementary schools, middle schools, and high school. So we're going to do that for the first time this year. We hope to do a few of those each year. And more information about that is, of course, on our website. We're also going to work with the schools and work with Croy and work with some of the church youth groups to do some youth programming and events as it relates to prevention, because we know that peer-to-peer intervention is much more productive and rewarding for students than it is adult to peer. So.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm sure a lot more effective.
Absolutely.
And one of the things I was thinking is that what's great about LEAD and the Speak Up Coalition is that you are partnering with lots of different groups in the community.
Yes.
So it's not just this one entity, but you're really collaborating this web of different groups, and you can make a bigger impact.
Right, for sure. I think we're really blessed by the amount of collaboration that we have. We have great relationships and healthy relationships with the churches and the ministerium and the schools, and certainly lots of different corporations, both for-profit and nonprofit in town. So we, and with the coalition, actually the government, as part of our federal grant, requires that we are working with all the different segments of the population. So we have, contacts that we're really active with in pretty much all the different, from civic organizations to corporations to healthcare agencies, and everybody in town is really incredibly supportive of us, and we couldn't do our work without that.
So if I'm just going to put together a couple scenarios to see if residents are in this situation and can use LEAD as a resource.
Sure.
If a parent thinks that their child might have a problem with drugs or alcohol or mental issue or something, how do they contact you?
So they can contact us through the phone or, of course, through email on the internet. We have a contact us form on our website. We also have a panic button on our website that if you need immediate assistance from a licensed social worker or something, there's some information on how you can do that. But we get calls in our office all the time from anything like what you just mentioned and things like that. And we have a team of people that we work with and trust that we can refer to based on what the situation is. So licensed clinical social workers, locally based clinicians who are there to really support families and students through whatever it is they're dealing with, and we vetted all those people and really have confidence in what they're able to do for families in the area.
And everything's kept confidential.
Everything's completely confidential.
So this is a local in-house, in our community resource where you find yourself in an issue or a situation where they can reach out and talk to someone.
In fact, most of the time when we're getting calls like that, people don't identify themselves. So it's we just listen, and that's really key, is that we just listen to whatever it is that we need. And we're not necessarily experts in-house in counseling families through that, but we can certainly refer based on what their needs are. So we have a pretty good referral list. And the panic button on our website has been a nice addition, because we've actually been able to analyze and track how many times that's been accessed. And we know that people have been, if they don't know who else to go to, they can go to that panic button and see a list of a phone number to call that actually provides you with some local resources.
And now how about volunteers? Say, what a great group, I'd like to get involved, and how can I? In that case, what steps should someone take?
Sure. So they can contact any one of our staff members at our phone number or through our website, and lots of different things during the course of the year to help with. If it's with our speaker series, we always need people to help with check-in and welcoming people. Need a ton of help with the race. I mean, it's a big event for us. So and people, everything from timing runners to registering people to just being, giving water out or whatever it is, lots of things. And as we're creating these new programs, we're going to have a lot more volunteer opportunities that come available.
And how about businesses or corporations in the community? How can they support?
Sure. Certainly monetarily would be,
Okay.
would be something that's important to us in terms of our sustainability, but even more than that, just having face time with us and supporting what we're doing. You know, sometimes having the corporate background, the corporate backing behind what we're doing goes a long way. You know, we have a 25, almost 26-year-old history of being in the community, so I think we've built up a name for ourselves over that time. But having a corporation behind us sometimes helps as well. And just for two examples, you know, at our race this year, Lake Forest Bank and Trust and Baytree Bank were two really big sponsors of ours this year, and not just in terms of money, but also being present and being out there and supporting what we're doing and being able to put their name on things that we're doing as well.
Neat. Well, Andy, if you had anything to close our program with today, what would you like to say to the homeowners?
Just that we're here to help.
Okay.
You know, our only intent and our only mission is to be of service to the people in the community and to try to create healthier families and healthy youth, and to help, you know, youth make good decisions. And we know that families play a huge part in that, and we know it's a difficult place to live and raise a family. I mean, I'm dealing with that with my own kids. There's a lot of stress and worry and pressure and anxiety that goes on with our young people and with our adults in our community. And just know that we're here to provide some relief to that and some help through some of those difficult times.
Great.
So.
Well, Andy, it's certainly been a pleasure
Thank you.
speaking with you today.
You too. Thanks for coming.
I hope you have the opportunity to get more residents involved. And as always, let me know if I can help market any of your events.
Will do.
Because we'd be happy to do it.
Great. Thanks,
Thank
Eileen.
you. Thank you for watching Inside Lake Forest. As you know, I've been visiting with Andy Duran, who is the Executive Director at LEAD. I hope you get the opportunities to stop by and visit and educate on all the different programs they have, and get involved very soon.